by bringing in another doctor that loved dry eye and ocular surface disease, I had to up my freaking game, right? She is well educated. She's not just going to accept, yeah, we have an IPL. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. This episode is building on the elevator pitch. I emphasized last episode why you need to have an elevator pitch. Today, I'm going to help you refine that, make it better, how you get it to be the best it possibly can be. We have the closing thought of the episode. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Thank you for the likes, the listens. Thank you for everyone that loves optometry. I myself love this business that we're in. I really do love the business of optometry. I like being in business. Now, don't get me wrong, seeing patients is fulfilling. I do enjoy it. But when I start working on the business, I start thinking about marketing strategies, adding another doctor, how to make our flow be more efficient, what I can do to get more patients in. That stuff actually I enjoy. Knowing that as a CEO of your business, it's okay to set aside an hour or time on your schedule blocks where all you do is think about strategy. Giving your time for that is acceptable. It's necessary. That's amazing. That's my jam. That's what I love doing. Going to a lecture and learning more about Xydra or Mibo, little things like that. Cool. I like knowing new technologies because it helps me be a better doctor, to teach my staff, to help my associates get better. But man, if I had to do that and that was the only thing I was doing, I don't think I'd be as happy as I am right now. I really like the business of optometry. And last episode, we had a breakdown of having your elevator pitch. You are constantly selling your vision for your practice to staff, to new doctors, to vendors you want to work with, marketing people. And what I realize is if you can't clearly articulate what you are doing in the simplest terms possible, you will not be successful. Well, I'll take that back. You can be successful, but you won't have something scalable. You won't have something that you can actually grow because the bottleneck will be you. You're the only one that gets the concept, that understands what you're trying to do. And you'll get a lot of like cookie cutter help, stuff that's okay, but not great. It doesn't embody the vision you have for your practice. And that's what I want. I have this passion for what I'm trying to grow. And the cool thing is my primary business is Family Vision Optical, but my new passion project is RDEC, Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center. It's like having a second business with one that already supports it. And I'm trying to grow it, expand it, make it its own entity. And I do that with the knowledge of 15 years of being in practice, of having battles, of making mistakes, falling on my face, just being new. And now I get to do it again. It's a second try with all the knowledge and resources that I have. So it's what I get excited about. I've made a bunch of swag for the office, got winter hats, got jackets, sweatshirts, t-shirts. And I did that after I've had it for about a year and a half now of really being successful and growing. And the cool thing about that is before I would have bought the t-shirts and then this is the primary focus. I now got the t-shirts and all of that more because I need my staff to know that the main business is there, but I want you to put your effort and energy towards this. This is the thing that we're putting out there. This is the thing that we're trying to grow. It's how I'm articulating my vision to them. What I see that matters. And my messaging, how I talk to the office meetings, all shaped by this vision for the future. So that leads us to the next step of this elevator pitch, of this vision that you have for your office to be something bigger and more than just routine eye care, glasses and contacts. How can you be different? So to get this elevator pitch, to get this passion that I have for RDAC, Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center, number one comes from the more you're doing, the quicker you will learn. So me being part of P3, me trying to grow with marketing, trying to expand to the new office, hiring new doctors, that has made me a better CEO, a better leader. Because the more people I bump into, the more I realize they don't know what I'm trying to build. Or they have this false perception of what eye care is. And I have this view of how I want it to be. So do more. Marketing is the easiest. You get a marketing agency or work with someone that does marketing. If they're worth their weight in anything, they're going to sit you down and they're going to grill you. What is it that you do here? How are you different than the guy down the street? Well, they sell glasses. They do dry eye. Why is your practice different? I just did a Google search, and all these doctors say they treat dry eye. They do myopia management. They treat glaucoma. Aren't you all the same? If you just start listing off the things that you do, you aren't there yet. But if you can articulate why you do dry eye differently, why you do scleral lenses differently, you start to have something. I didn't realize that until I started talking to these people. And I had to tell them why we were different. It's a really hard question when you sit down and ask yourself, what makes my office, what's my competitive advantage? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why are you different than the other office in town? Are you interchangeable? Absolutely not. We see vision in a different light. We're going to look at your lids, your tear film. We believe that's the foundation of vision, and we're going to look at that first, and then we'll talk to you about your glasses and contacts. Yes, we'll give you those, but we will do it on the foundation of your tear film. Tell me more, doc. Can you articulate that? When you go to expand, to grow, that has to be calculated in a very distinct way. Number one, when I moved to the new location, I had to design the practice. I purposely did not make my optical huge because in my mind, it's something that we do. We're not going to completely abandon it, but for where I want to grow and what I want to build, that's not the foundation. That's not the centerpiece. I have a nice optical in my mind, but there's better, bigger opticals out there. I have 6 treatment rooms, right? With those rooms, initially 2 of them dedicated for nothing but dry eye and ocular surface treatments. It's real estate that I'm committing to it. I've grown so much that I've cut another one that was primary care. It's now a treatment room because we have that much demand. I've built the space with that in mind. If you're not committed to it, you don't build those rooms or you have backup plans. I designed them completely different. The fact that I had to use one of the primary care rooms for a treatment room was a knock on me not having a big enough vision for what I was going to build. RDAC, Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center. I put on the building. That sign was like $20K. That, if you're not committed to something, you're not going to spend it on a sign that, you can't just delete it like a web page. Right? And I learned, well, if I'm going to do that, I better be able to sell what I want to do. It got me focused. It helped me compress my ideas. When you recruit new doctors, I had never hired another doctor. I didn't know what it entailed. They want to know what they're going to do, what your practice is like. I had to figure that out. What's our treatment protocol? What are the things we're not going to do? Where are we going to refer out? Thankfully, the first doctor that came on, we were on the same page. It's worked out. She trusted me. It's worked. But when I recruited doctor number two, talked to a bunch of different doctors, the pitch was completely different. I knew exactly what we were doing, and I conveyed that to them. So get out there and be active. Action is always rewarded. The more you're trying to do, the more you'll learn. So, number one, you got to be active, right? That makes you have clarity. And the more active you're out there in the world, P3 is a perfect example. The more you have to be able to convey something of substance, because you get around the right people or people that actually know the business. Fluffy answers with no backup behind it will be called out really quick. We're going to revolutionize eye care. Oh, really? Are you now? Why? Because we have the Stellus lens. Oh, that makes sense. No, we're going to do this because we're not going to do in 5 years glasses or contacts. People are going to be referring to us. We'll have self referrals that are going to come to us because we have all these treatments. Everything new that involves ocular surface and dry eye will be part of our future. That's new. That's something I haven't heard before. You're actually investing in this aspect, getting rid of other things. All right. They'll believe when you start doing it. All right. Number two, I say this all the time and I believe it wholeheartedly. Iron sharpens iron. The stronger your peer network, the stronger the people you surround yourself with, the quicker you'll realize when your pitch is weak. When you're just lying to yourself, because it is the easy thing to do. By bringing in another doctor that loved dry eye and ocular surface disease, I had to up my freaking game, right? She is well educated. She's not just going to accept, yeah, we have an IPL. If I brought in a doctor that thought an IPL was a laser or didn't know anything about autologous serum, and I was the one that putting out there, I'm not telling her anything she doesn't know. What I am doing, because she is elite in her education and passion, is I'm giving her the tools and environment to make it thrive. Breaking down the past systems I had that were all built around me and shaping them around her, letting her take that knowledge and grow because she is that good of a doctor. And knowing that I have another doctor that I'm bringing on, that he's going to be in this environment, he better step up to the occasion or he's going to be left behind. We are not going to wait, but he will be better because he's around us. I'm a better doctor because I'm part of that P3 group. Not only is my group elite and amazing, but they all have dry eye clinics to an extent. And honestly, when I got in there, I said I did dry eye. I thought I was a pretty good dry eye doctor and I could sell it. They were all better than me, hands down. Doing more treatments, had a better vision for how they did it. I dialed it in. I got around a better class of doctors and realized I had to level up. For my business, I've grown. I need to get this other doctor in here so I can grow more. If you're watching on YouTube, you know I'm a little angry that I'm not there yet. I want it to happen faster, but I have the pieces in place. But I saw that a $1 million practice is not that incredible. $2 million practice, not that incredible. The $4 million practice starting to get a little bit better, but there's $10 million practices out there. Thriving. Doing everything that we do. That really get business. I gotta level up. My personal growth of learning how to lead is much different when I have educated people around me. Nothing against the staff that I used to have around me, but they didn't understand eye care. They were bank tellers, they were part-time workers, they were just jumping on and going from there. I have medical assistants, I have estheticians, I have doctors that are smart, educated, ambitious people. I have to be their leader. I'm going to level my game up. I'm going to be so focused on what I do that they won't look at me and say I could do it better. They might do it differently, but they're not going to say I could outwork him. And I take that seriously. And I've improved as a clinician because I have another doctor around me that's elite. I've honed my skills because I've seen her do things, and I know she's seen it with me. She says, if he can do it, I can do it. Well, I've seen her do things that I wasn't doing. Time to level up. You want to get a good elevator pitch, surround yourself with a stronger network. They will call out your BS to your face in a heartbeat. I'm not afraid to do that with my P3 group because I know they'll do it to me. And you know what? To a T, when we call each other out or say, hey, I would do this differently, or you're there, we respect each other for it. We need that in our lives. Too often as private practice owners, we are in bubbles where you think you're the smartest person in the room, the last place you want to be. You think that your ideas are all great, last place you want to be. You need someone that will hold it up to the fire and see if it stands that test, if it's really a good idea, or you're just lying to yourself and procrastinating what needs to be done. But surround yourself with a better network. And at the end of the day, remember, strong peers aren't challenging your skills. They're challenging your clarity, your messaging, your ability to lead with a focused goal. Because if you're all over, if you're waffling, easy to do when you have the staff. I mean, they'll roll their eyes and they're not going to be all in if you're constantly changing. But other doctors or business mentors, coaches, they're going to call you out. They've done it. Those people have accomplished things bigger or equivalent to you, so they're not intimidated by your status. Employees are going to be somewhat intimidated. You're the boss, not your peers. Level up. So that's the follow-up to the episode. I love the elevator pitch, but those things I talked about just now, they matter. Right? You got to be out there in the mix. You got to be doing. Surrounding yourself with better, ambitious people is a cheat code because you'll find out where you're weak. You'll find out where your ideas aren't strong, and you'll have a sounding board with people that aren't afraid to call you out if you're off or if you're missing a message or if you're constantly changing. Alex Ramosi always says the reason why most businesses fail is because they're constantly looking for the new thing. They get to the point of where it's hard. Instead of following through and working through that, they pivot. Well, that hard point is where everyone stops. The people that are elite, that are the best, get to that hard and they work their way through it. You need to do it. So things I want you to ask yourself. Just ask yourself these questions right now. Pause it in between. But what kind of eye care provider are you not? What don't you do? Or what are you doing right now that you need to stop doing because it's not in line with your vision? Now realize this might be something that's very profitable or has legs. It's just not your passion or it doesn't align with where you want to go. And if you are not willing to get rid of some things, is your vision really what you want to do? Number 2, in your operating system, where is the bottleneck? What is the problem that you need to fix that will allow you to have exponential growth? Once you have clarity, you're going to find a point where there's a certain bottleneck. I'm not going to lie, I'd be surprised if it wasn't you. Your growth is being hindered by something you're holding on to. And remember, this whole point of this year, of this podcast the past 2 episodes is you stop being the OD leader and being the CEO of your practice. Driving the direction, not the day-to-day. To level up, you have to get out of that day-to-day. Are you the leader you want to be? Get clarity and then be the leader you want to be. And this is a fun one. This last thing I want you to ask yourself is, when you do everything you say you're going to do, when you win, what does eye care look like? What does your business look like? What does your life look like? If you answer that question and your eyes don't just light up, you don't have just like the smile that comes across your face, you're doing something wrong. You're not pursuing the right goal, because if you win, you have to have that reward, that excitement, that this is why I did it. Because if you don't, you're not going to get there. It's not worth it. You're not going down the right path. I have a huge, like, if I did everything I wanted and I had like 15 offices, I'm just running these clinics, people reporting to me, I'm sending out the vision, we're growing. I have free time in my day to day. I have time to sit down and strategically think about things. I'm thinking 15 years ahead, like Mrs. Jones's glasses, or the remake, or a patient that got mad because he wanted to cancel his order. That stuff doesn't come across my desk ever. That's a good life. I'm pumped. I'm happy. Now I got to make a lot of changes to get to that point, but that's, could be the vision. If I honestly say to you that I have the one office and we are the best, most elite office in West Michigan, everyone's being referred to me, and I'm still seeing patients, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. That's a good place to be. I'm sure I can lecture, I can go and do stuff, but I don't think I climbed the mountain the highest I wanted to. Food for thought. I'm thinking out loud as I do this podcast, because that's the goal. That's kind of the direction I'm going. But when I say that 15 CEO and people, send me all that stuff, that gets me more lit up than the other one. They're both good. But that's what this podcast is about. That's what I want you guys to think about. So Alex Ramosi has razors. I love the idea of a razor. And it's something simple like, if it takes more than 30 seconds, you're not there yet. Like, if you can't explain your business in 30 seconds, you haven't simplified it down enough. Right? So razors. That's one razor. If you can't explain your business, your elevator pitch in 30 seconds, you got to keep working at it. If it sounds like a brochure and you're listing services, not quite there yet. And if it can't be repeated by someone else, not quite there yet. Right? 30 seconds, not a brochure, repeatable and scalable. So remember, scaling doesn't start with more patients. It starts with thinking clear. Clarity shows up first in what you say, and the quicker, the more confident and consistent you are with that message, the closer you are to having the life and the practice that you want. That's what I have. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and I'll leave you with this. The magic in your childhood wasn't because you were a child. It was because you were living in the present. Source unknown. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seemed to make sense. Like, childhood was really cool. And we always talk about not having worries. You just woke up every day and lived it to its fullest, went to bed and did it again. Break that down, and it's really like you're living in the moment. Now, again, us adults look at our kids. You got to think about the future. Don't just live for the day. Plan. Make the right decisions. I don't know. That's what I'm telling my kids. Think about the future. We're making decisions for you because it'll give you a better opportunity in the future. Maybe I need to live in the moment more. Maybe there's a balance. Maybe I'm full of crap. I don't know. But that's the thought I'll leave you with. We'll talk to you next week. Dr. Lily out.